Hi guys, this is the rest of the tale of two sisters, 장화홍련전. I actually recorded this before and I tried to finish the whole story within 20 minutes, but I don't know what happened. I couldn't, which was fine, but I happened to cough a little and it must have disturbed the mic or something. So there were a couple of times that it was really loud and it wasn't nice to listen to. So I was like, I don't like, I only know like, one person listens to this. So I'm like, do I want to go through that again? But yeah, that was disturbing. So I just decided to go over again. And within 20 minutes, I would like to finish the story. So let's hope that this would go smoothly. So where were we? So this is the story of two sisters. Do you remember the names of the girls? Yes. So that was Changha and Hongyeon. Again, I'm going to give them that long braided hair because they're still single. Oh, I forgot. I didn't have to draw Changhwa because she's already not with us in this story. So I'm just going to make Hongyeon look sad, and I'm going to erase Changhua just for now. We're going to come back. Okay, so before going back to the story, I would like to correct myself from the first episode. So number one, well, it's not exactly a mistake. My number one is not a mistake. Is not a mistake. My number one is I would like to tell you a little more of the word 결혼하다. And once again, just in case there are other listeners out there, I would like you to learn Korean alphabet so that you can read. Korean is a language that you learn the alphabet. You don't know what it means, but you're able to read. I would say it's just like hiragana in Japanese. So you remember the shape, then that alphabet actually has the same sound all through. So it's a little different from English. So it'll be easier. Anyways, moving forward. So 결혼하다. The previous video I told you the word 시집가다, right? And I also told you 시집 means your your husband's parents' house. So that's actually parents-in-law's house. And you only can go to 시집 when what gender you are? A female, right? You have to be a woman so that you can 시집, you can go 시집. So 결혼했어? Are you married, right? 시집은 갔어? Are you married if you're a woman? There was another expression that when you're a man, you can also say 장가가다. Yes, I know it's strange, but basically what it is 시집 and 장가 are the same thing. So if you're a man, you go to 장가. If you're a girl, you go to 시집. So you can guess, right? So yes, so 시집 and 장가 mean your parents-in-law's houses. So depending on your gender, you call your parents-in-law in different names. The first video, I actually went through the detail and I was like, no, I can wait. That would be a little too advanced. So I'll just stop here. Okay. So that was the first thing that I kind of wanted to add a little more. And another one was when I introduced Changhwa and Hongyeon's father as when I introduced him the occupation, like his job, I said he was the sheriff of the small village that the whole family was living. He's not a sheriff. There was a sheriff. It's called 부사. Another word, 사또, many times. So, and I also introduced 부사 as the head officer of police station, which I am correct. But then what I would like to tell you is that it's not just police officer. Like it's not just that is what they do. They actually like kind of like rule the whole village. So it's not just the crime rate that they concern. Everything else they're also concerned, and also so therefore they when there is some kind of crime happens, then they track them down, right? So it's like look for the possible suspects, and when they find those bad people, then they also become judges too. So they can give the bad people the sentence. So I sentence you to 50 times hitting on your butt. Then it's like people come with this like long stick, like it looks like a row for your boat, and then they kind of like flip flop your butt 50 times. Of course, after 50 times, it's like you won't be able to walk around. So that is 부사. So again, 장화 and 홍련's father is not a 부사 or 사또. He is 좌수. But then again, 좌수 is not really important because nobody uses these three words, 부사, 사또, 좌수 anymore because these titles don't exist now. We're talking about, this story goes back to, it's like a time back, so it's not really important. I just wanted to point that out. So, 장화 and 홍련's father was just a nobleman. I told you, 양반. And obviously he works for the government, but that's not the title that he was working for. I just wanted to clear that. Okay, so now our poor 홍련 lost 장화, and do you remember how she died? Remember that, right? So 장세, remember 장세? The firstborn from the stepmom. He lost his one arm and one leg for doing that bad thing. Well, he's single, so I'll give him the braided hair. Anyways, well, that's not important. And then there is this stepmom. So you know how the firstborn is always the most important in Korea. It is, and especially when it is a son. It's like the firstborn son is like even higher than your father as they grow up. That's how important they are. And now he's kind of like ruined. He's disabled. So stepmom takes all this anger from 장세 on 홍련. So now 홍련 doesn't really understand what just happened. They framed 장화 and they ruined her like good behaving daddy's little girl reputation, and they just made her so basically 장세 pushed her into a pond. Let me write it down. Pond. Does anybody know the Korean word for pond? 연못. 연못, we still use it. Yeah, there are not so many ponds in Korea per se, but still, yeah, like 연못 is a modernized word, whereas 부사 and 사또 and 좌수, yeah, people don't use them anymore. So they put all this anger on 홍련. So 홍련 is really sad. She just lost her sister, and not very long after, she was sleeping. And in Korea, we have fortune tellers. We have the book readers. When I say book, it's a special book. If you learn and master the book, you understand how the universe works. A lot of people go to church in Korea. Yes, yes, yes. But also, like, we have this, like, traditional, like, I don't want to say superstition. I'm pretty sure, like, there are lots of other words. So there's superstition. There is, it's like believing in the nature and the universe and stuff. Like, we also have that too. So we have palm readers, we have face readers, we have lots of, like, fortune tellers. One of them, they actually read your dreams. Your dreams are important, right? Like in Western, also dreams are important, but you have some kind of like certain dreams in Korea. You search in the internet and they give you definition. Like if you lose the front teeth, this means something, something. If you saw somebody's poop in the dream, then, like, it means something, something. Usually the dirty things, in reality, it's supposed to be good. I don't really know why. So anyways, one day, not long after Changhwa dies, she was sleeping, and in her dream, Changhwa appears, right? Changhwa appears, and Changhwa explained what actually happened to her this time. So it's like, little sister, and in Korea, usually when woman dies and become a ghost, they usually have this long hair. They wear the hair long, so it's really hard to see their faces. And then they wear white traditional Korean clothes, hanbok, because that's how, I think that's what they wear. That's what we wear when we die. Yeah, so we don't wear anything looking fabulous when we are ready to die. Well, I mean, like, it's like nothing is written on stone, but we usually wear something that's made out of, I don't want to say cotton, but like something like that. Like, there's another word for that clothes, but anyways, so she appears and she also cries, little sister, it's so unfair how I died, and like in her dream. And also, this bad boy Jang-se tells Hongyun what he did to her older sister. So now she knows for both ends. And then Hongyun understands that, like, her father wouldn't help her because nobody would understand it, because there was, remember the last video, there was a piece of evidence. Remember that rat? What did they do to the rat? They pulled all the hair out of the rat. So they skinned the rat and they pretended like this was some kind of, like, lump that Jangha pretty much gave birth to. So she knew that. So what she does is she wakes up and she gets so sad, and she's like, oh, I don't think I can live without you, sister. I'll just follow you. So she jumps and she kills herself. There's a refill for her death. So that's what happens. So the two girls now are dead. And so, of course, like, father is sad and stuff. But guys, here I would like to give you a little bit of information of the traditional Joseon dynasty. It's like, remember how Janghwa was framed, that, like, people accused her of the things that she didn't do. She was only like 17, 18. And having a boyfriend in Joseon dynasty, it's like, oh my God, what? It's like, to be honest, like, the word boyfriend, 남자친구, or girlfriend, 여자친구, when I was younger, the word was not even that common. It's like everybody has a girlfriend and boyfriend these days, but like when I was younger, we would prefer to use we would prefer using lover instead of boyfriend or girlfriend when you are engaged, or if you want to marry them. So we didn't really, like, we're not very free like having a relationship even when I was little. So like this, we're talking about in Joseon Dynasty, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Women, at that time, like virginity is beyond the life itself. So you protect your virginity with your life, and if somebody takes it, and if that happens before you get married, or if that happens, it's like what your parents didn't know, or if you had a sick boyfriend and like people found out about it, then you pretty much have no choice but killing yourself or disappear. So that once Changha, even though if she was alive, still because she was framed and it appeared like she had miscarriage, so no choice but like killing herself. So it was like pretty much the same. So anyways, now this both girls are dead. So now they became ghosts. I would just like to write that, just draw two of them here just in case. So now it looks like the whole thing finishes the way it is, right? But then the following day that Hongyan killed herself, they appeared in front of Busa. Remember Busa? Remember another word, Sato? Because they died, and they didn't have, I don't really know what this word that I would like to say in English. 억울하다. Of course, we don't say 억울하다, we say 억울하다. 억울하다 is how you feel after when you had to go through something that's not fair for you. So that was not fair. 나는 억울하다. Right? So right after the day Hongyan commits, it's like decide to leave the world, the following night, the two sisters, dead sisters, appear to the Busa of the village. And they're crying, right? 부사나리, 부사나리, 우리는 억울해요, 우리는 억울해요, right? So, but for Busa, they just scared the crap out of him. He had a heart attack. He dies. But like he dies. But then, does anybody know why he had a heart attack? No. So, so it's like, oh my God, that's so weird. It's just like our Busa just died. What happens after? Yeah, like new Busa comes to the village because they work for the government. So like the government, well, I shouldn't say government because that was dynasty. So like the king sent the king sent another Busa. So the new Busa comes, but then like the first night when they are assigned for the position, these two dead sisters appear and they go, oh, again, 부사나리 or 사또, 우리는 억울해요. So there were like, a couple of 사tos, a couple of Busas either dead or they just ran away because it was so scary. So about now, there were like, rumors and like, people talked about it, like, what happens the first night when the new Busa comes. And then this heroic, courageous new Busa, he voluntarily, I would like to go to that village. Let me be the Busa of that place. So he appears. I would like to draw his head. Do you remember that card the other day that I drew? It's like there are different types of hats. So Busa or Sato, they didn't wear the same type of hat. They wore something like, rounder. I don't know. If you guys have seen The Kingdom on Netflix, I'm pretty sure you've seen enough cut. And I'm pretty sure like there are other patterns of kind of like hat types. So this one, it's a little too round here. So, and this is not transparent, so you cannot see his weird hairdo. So it's all kind of colored. And what's what's a little special about this head is that it's got like, beads all around. As a child, I used to watch these like epic shows on TV, and like I was always curious, like, what are those beads for? Because it doesn't seem. I mean, I think there is another, like, there are another set of strings that, like, it makes the head stick on your head. So I'm not so sure about all those beads. But then from Kingdom, like that, the prince wears this kind of hat. I'm not sure. I've seen all the episodes, but I'm not sure. So anyways, so he appears like, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. I want to try it. I can do it. So the first night, the girls appear. 부사다리, 부사다리. 우리는 억울해요. 우리는 억울해요. So then they tell the story, like, we like our stepmom did something to horrible things to us. So we had no choice but dying. So that's why how we died. It's like we are 억울해요. It's not fair how we died. So who am I drawing? I'm drawing their father. So remember earlier I told you about what Busa does. So he basically runs the whole town, and also when time is like, when it is needed, he also becomes the judge. So he summons these two, mom and the son, and he asks questions. He investigates the situations. But then, it's like stepmom had the strong evidence. Remember that dead rat? I mean, obviously, this rat wouldn't look like red at this point, but see, this is the evidence. This is the evidence. So that the first daughter of my husband did the horrible thing. So she just killed herself. I'm innocent. So he was like, so she is innocent. So he let them go home. And then the same night, the girls appear again on his dream and explains not explain, but like the evidence that the stepmom brought. I want you to cut open the belly. You will see poo. So the following day, again, these two got summoned again, and he made people to cut the evidence into two. And yeah, obviously, like, there was poo, because it was never lump of blood. It was skinned red. So then here comes the punishment. The punishment, I don't really want to say it out loud because it sounds really horrifying. And also, like, remember, like, traditionally a long time ago, like, punishments were like so horrifying. Compared to, like, now, like, even though you kill people, you just go to prison. Like, you don't stay hungry or anything. I'll just write it down. I'm not gonna read it out loud. So this is what the stepmom got. This means they kill her. Basically, they kill her. Splitting all her limbs apart, so her necks, her both arms, and her both legs. So yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. So then the two girls, so that day, obviously this new Busa dreams a lot, right? Like, he has to sleep like crazy. So that day when everything was solved, they reappeared in her dream again, looking very happy, and they say, thank you so much for clearing our names. We promise you that, like, you will only have the good things in the future. We appreciate your effort again. Thank you so much. That's what happens. But this is not the end of the story. I would like to tell you what happens to the father, because I think this is somewhat interesting too. So So the father was like obviously so sad, right? But then also from the point of the new busa, it looks like the father is on the same side of the stepmother and Jang Sui, right? But then everything was cleared up, so that new busa knows that Jang Hwa and Hongyeon's father is innocent. So now he is free to go. So he gets married for the third time. First, what do you guys say? Third time charm, third time luck. So this time, oh my god. Yeah, she seems nice, right? So this time, he again has two girls. I don't really know what happened to that three other boys. I mean, for Changhwa and Hongyeon, the mom is not the same, but still, like from Changhwa and Hongyeon's father, like all these three boys are his boys too. I'm not so sure. Okay, good. Oh, and also in Korean tradition, after clearing their names up, it's also important to bury their bodies in a proper way with proper ceremony and manners. That's also important. So the new busa did that. So everything is going back on the right track, right? So now these two, so the third marriage, third marriage. Wow. So now they have two girls. In Korea, did I tell you this or did I tell you the earlier video that I decided not to put it up? I'm not sure. I'm going to tell you anyways. We have birth dreams. When somebody is pregnant, that pregnant person has a birth dream. Or if the person doesn't, then somebody in your family, extended family. I'm not talking about direct parents. I'm talking about it could be your parents-in-law or like far person, like one of your relatives that you have heard of maybe one time in your lifetime. Sometimes, it's like those people out of the blue, they call your mother and your daughter got married recently. Is she happen to be pregnant? Because I think I dreamt something and I think that belongs to her. What did you dream? What did you dream of? I dreamed of well-ripe persimmons. Like anything ripe means boy. Anything not ripe but like describing the colors very bright and pretty, those are women usually. So this time, this third wife dreamed of two beautiful, flowers. That she actually got those two flowers from you don't like the god in Korea, the traditional Korea. So then they actually gave the two little girls the same name as Janghwa and Hongyeon. This is what happens. So this is pretty much the end. The end. See again? I did that again because there were two E's and I got confused. I mean, I didn't get confused. I just forgot to write two E's. I almost, wrote an E. Okay, anyways, so this is what happens. I think there is a little more detail for this new busa, but basically this is what it is. He also got a great promotion and he became this somebody really important for Joseon Dynasty, Joseon Dynasty government. That's what happens. So everything finishes and what do you think, guys? Yeah, I would say this is so not right for the three boys. And especially with these two. These two didn't do anything, and they lost the mom. They now they have to look after the first son, like 장세. And he just remarries. Okay, hang on. So okay, so I'm pretty sure she dies. Bleh, right? She got the punishment for that, and he. So I'm pretty sure he, 장화 and 홍련's father, brought them with him when he decided to get married again. Let's hope for the best, and let's hope that's what it happened. Okay, so thank you for listening, and I'll come back with another Korean folk tale. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.